Hi guys, welcome to the StitchyJam knitting podcast. My name is Jay. I'm coming from Sydney, Australia, and I'm a knitter, crafter, sewer, project bag maker, gardener, the list, but creative homebody being. And I've got a few new subscribers, so thank you and welcome. I used to do this once a month and do a longer episode and just talk about knitting, but I'm finding this weekly quick catch up to talk about what I've done crafty during the week, and how I'm going, and a bit of life update. A little bit easier and a little bit of less pressure than trying to, sort of figure it out all in one hit. Sorry, a car just went by. So, surprisingly, I'm finding it a bit easier, even though it's a bit more frequent. How cute is this mug that my mom got for her birthday? Puffins in jumpers. So grab a cuppa or something to drink, and I'll catch you up on my week. I actually, since I filmed last, I've been really unwell. I had a rhinovirus, aka a common cold, but it's wiped me out. I had it at the same time as like my cycle, and yeah, my energy is just completely wiped out. However, having a couple of days unwell, thinking, oh yeah, I can get up and do stuff, tried to get off the couch, not happening. So on that note, I've made a fair bit of progress on my sock knitting, and I've got it in my little cute booby bag that I made maybe last year. I just love him, he's so cute. So this is wool that I talked about last week. Rainbows and Sprinkles is the brand, and it's berry, I can never remember the name of it, berry something. I decided to do a contrasting heel in the end, and I have plans for a contrasting toe as well. So last week I was up to here, and I was still working on the leg, and since then, as you can see, I've made a lot of progress on the heel, flap and gusset, and turning, and now going into the foot. I look a bit pale still, so just ignore my color. I don't know, this contrasting yarn is from my mum's stash, and she got it from Marketplace, and we don't have a label for it to do the heel. And I took the heel from another pattern, so I'm doing a very vanilla sock, but I've added in some garter at the top, and am possibly going to try my hand at adding some crochet lace on, inspired by Home Tea Knits, but just to give me a bit of crochet. I haven't crocheted since I started knitting, which has been 2 years, and I just want to, sort of give it a go, basically, and see if I like it or not. I added this in, and I've been very unsure about it, because I like quite plain things, or the whole thing patterned, but I just wanted to try my hand at adding something a little bit different in. So it may change, it may not, I'm not sure yet. I did this contrasting heel using the Tea at Downton Abbey sock pattern, like for the heel, and then it's a French heel turn, and I'll keep going on that. And as I've been knitting this, I've been thinking, and I've come up with what I want to experiment with, which could potentially be a sock pattern. I'm not a knitting designer. I wouldn't know where to start, but I've got an idea, and I'm going to at least research and give it a go and see if I can bring my brain vision into reality. So I think, you know, given that I was unwell, couldn't really do anything, it was nice to have this little knitting project on the go, and the colors are just so lovely. And I've got my beanie on because I didn't wash my hair today. I couldn't be bothered, to be honest. I literally have zero energy. So I'm just sort of sitting, catching up on YouTube videos. I have been back to work. I was back at work on the weekend, and that was okay, but come the end of my shift Sunday, I just felt wiped out again, and yesterday was a complete and utter write-off. I had a very, very bad, low energy, low mood, disaster of a day yesterday. I think I maybe did 2 lines of knitting. Everything I touched was not working. And today is a whole new day, but yesterday was just one of those days where everything went wrong. Thankfully, today's been a little bit better. I think that I'm still unwell, even though I might not be like sneezing and coughing and all of that. From an energy point of view, I think that I'm still unwell. I think I tried to run before I could walk. So the other thing I've been doing is I've been on the home stretch. Well, sorry, I've done another whole side of my binding since yesterday, and now this afternoon I'm on the home stretch. So I've got from here to here, and that's it. That will be the binding done, and I'll show you the finished product firstly on my Instagram, but next week when I come and do one of my videos for you guys. My week, apart from being sick, apart from yesterday, which was a complete write-off, you know, of course I've been resting, but overall it's been okay. Nothing really to share other than what I already have, being unwell, having low energy, which I've now said 4 times. You don't really want me to waffle on about that. And mood-wise, up until yesterday, everything was okay. And, you know, we all have bad days, right? And today is another day, and tomorrow is another day, and going back to work will be good. I really, you know, when I was off last week sick, I was just, oh, please let me go back to work. I've got cabin fever, which, you know, is a sign that you're starting to get better, which is good. So that's a positive. I wanted to mention this book. There is a YouTuber I follow who lives in a tiny house, and she moved to a tiny house in Scotland. She is a highly sensitive person, like myself, and I'll put the link down here because off the top of my head I cannot remember the name of her podcast or vlog, or channel, whatever you want to call it. But she always is talking about books, and she gives a little bit of info on the books that she's reading, among other things. And I am generally the kind of reader that reads non-fiction. I can't generally get into fiction because I struggle with like attention, and I struggle with remembering what it is I've read in the previous chapters. And and I find it a bit hard to like escape into a book sometimes, which I guess is what the point of reading is. In somewhat, I also enjoy reading because it gets me off the screen, off the phone, off the computer, off watching TV. It's nice to have a quiet moment to yourself, sitting in a chair, having a cup of tea, reading a book. And the more I do it, the better I'm getting at it. And I'm all of this in to say that I've picked up a book by Jenny Colgan, and there's a lot of different ones by her. She's a Scottish writer, and I've read a few of the backs of a few of her books that were available in my local library. I didn't want to go out and buy a whole bunch of books. I just wanted to borrow some that I could read from the library. I'm on a no spend month, but also I find that, especially when you are getting to know a writer, and if you can avoid spending $40 on a brand new book that you're going to read once, and then, you know, if you love it, you might keep it, but generally we pay it forward, we put it in a street library, etc. And so I thought, well, if the library's got it, well, that's a good resource, and I'm going to borrow it from there. So I read a few of them, and there was a few I sort of liked, and I was like, yeah, maybe that one, but I wanted somewhere to start that I would enjoy it. And the one I found is called Close Knit, and I couldn't find it in the normal, for lack of a better word, section in the library, but they did have a copy in the large print area, and honestly, it's good. It's easier to read for me anyway, and not everything's going to be available in large print, but I just thought, well, it's not available in normal or regular print, but it is available in a large. I'm just going to give that a go. I put the other one on a waiting list, but by the time it was ready, I'm halfway through the book anyway. So it's Small Community, Big Dreams. Should Gertie stay or go? Gertie was always in her head in the clouds, wondering what her life might be like if she could pluck up the courage to leave a remote Scottish town where she was born. It's the only place she knows, but you can't do anything there without everyone knowing. The glue of this close-knit community is the Knitting Circle, a group of strong, capable and frankly noisy women who work hard, gossip, knit and support each other through thick and thin. At the centre is Gertie's mum, Jean, and her grandmother, Elspeth, and 3 generations of women who live together, surrounded by wool in one small cottage. When the chance comes to make changes, a new job on the local airline, new friends, and a possible new romance, a world of possibilities opens up before Gertie. Is this the way to make her dreams come true? And it is about a young woman who is working in a shop, who knits a lot, and who, is shy and quiet, and it's a really, really good read. I really recommend it. And obviously it was dear to my heart. I love Scotland. I love knitting and the knitting community, and the fact that she's quite shy, and it just really resonated in some aspects with me, and it's been nice. And they're short chapters. It's a book that you can put down and pick back up, and it might take a few minutes to get back into it, but then you do quite quickly. And I think she's a really good writer, so I'm definitely going to try and read some more of her writing, and I thought that you might be interested. I've been wanting to talk to you about it the last few weeks, but I keep forgetting. So there's that. And what else has been going on? I've designed my first printable and put it in my Ko-fi shop. It's a page for a knitting journal. I'm not sure, if like me, you like paper copy of things. I mean, I do use Ravelry, but I also like building journals, and I thought that maybe you guys might have an interest in that. So I designed a PDF that you can download, and you can, It is paid, but it's pay what you want. And the minimum is $4, so it's not very expensive. If you're on a budget like me, it's something that you can, potentially afford. I don't want to make things that are out of reach for people. And yeah, you can add that, and I'll put the link for that down there. And I will add a picture now. It might take up the whole screen. I don't know. I need to work that out. But I'll definitely put a link for it down there. And if that's something that you're interested in, yeah, please go and download that. I got really inspired to make some project bags. I think in the last video I talked about, or maybe the one before, I talked about making some project bags, but I probably wasn't going to do anything till Christmas and do some more Christmas themed bags like I did last year. But actually in the interim, I remembered that I've got some really beautiful Australian themed fabric. So we've got this kangaroo here. I can't remember the name of this animal. My mother told me. And it's gone from my mind. It starts with a K. Anyway, whatever this guy is, he's cute. And some lovely wattle around. And then one with some koalas, kangaroos, galahs, and some native flowers. Some lovely koalas and some gum leaves. And the last one is some galahs. And rather than just make one bag per piece of material like I would normally do, I'm going to get a bit more creative with these ones. I have gone through the scrap material and pulled out some like colors that go with each pattern. And without putting pressure on myself, I'm slowly starting to get this material ironed and ready. And the next stage will be cutting some patches out and doing some patchwork, and I'm going to develop those into some patchwork project bags. I'm probably going to do a couple of different sizes. I got a whole bunch of zippers from the charity shop recently, and I think I'm going to try my hand at doing some notion pouches as well, or instead of. That is yet to be decided. But that might take me a month or so. I'll let you know when. I'll let you know my progress on those. I'll let you know when they're available for purchase. And the last thing on my creative journey, I don't know why I did air quotes. I have been wanting for the last couple of years to do a do-it-yourself advent calendar. And I've only got one of these, and so it would probably be either a gift for my mum or a joint thing for us both. I haven't quite figured that out yet. But I got off Marketplace. I think it was free. It might not have been. It might have been a couple of dollars a couple of years back. Someone was getting rid of an old advent calendar box, which was obviously from a makeup line or something. But it's got all these really cool drawers in it, you can see. And they're all numbered, so it can be reused over and over and over again. Of all different sizes. This is really hard to carry, to hold. And even though it's got like marketing stuff on it, from, that's not a great angle. Even though it's got marketing stuff on it from obviously the makeup brand that it's from, I have some black contact that I can't find and some yellow contact. I'm not sure about the yellow, to be honest. I'm going to try and find the black. I'm going to cover over all of this and I'm going to turn it into an advent calendar for Christmas. I'm going to put, you know, a few little bits of woolly, lovely things in it. And yeah, and then every year I'm going to have that recycled and reused. And I think, like, yeah, have a look on Marketplace. I'm sure that you'll find some in your local area. I think it's a great idea. And yeah, sort of make your own advent calendar. You know, whether it be for yourself or as a gift. I just think, you know, it's a good use of these packaging that can be reused into something beautiful. Thanks for everyone that liked and commented and subscribed to my video last week. I really appreciate it. Every time you like this video, it makes other people aware of my videos and really helps boost my channel. So I'm yet to make 100 subscribers, but that's okay. I enjoy coming here, and for the people that are here watching, thank you. I'm really grateful for you. So yeah, I mean, I don't really have a lot else to say other than I hope you guys have a good week and I hope you enjoy this episode. I definitely have been saying for weeks that I'm going to do a whip project podcast, and I will. I just keep procrastinating it, to be quite honest. But it's there on the cards and something for you to look forward to. So thank you everyone, and I hope you have a wonderful week, and I'll see you next week. Bye!